Over the past few weeks, we have been taking a deeper look at each character's story, piecing together clues left behind in-game and out-of-game by the developers of Apex Legends. If you haven't seen part 1 and part 2 yet, make sure to watch those too. There's no need to watch them in order, so if you enjoyed this video, you can watch the other parts after. For this video series, we are specifically focusing on canon lore, so any theories or unconfirmed information will not be included. This will give us a clearer view of each legend and their true backstory as far as we know it. This episode will focus on the current star of the show, Mirage. We've recently got more lore for Mirage to cover thanks to the Winter Express event, so there's a lot to talk about with him. First, let's take a look at Mirage's backstory. Mirage is the kind of guy who likes to stand out, the youngest of 4 brothers who perfected the art of fooling around to get attention. The one thing he took seriously was Holo-Pilot technology, introduced to the illusion-creating tech by his engineer mother. He pored over the mechanisms and learned all he could about them. Even when his brothers went missing in action during the Frontier War, Mirage and his mother continued to develop holo devices, and the work brought them closer. While working as a bartender to make ends meet, Mirage heard amazing stories from his patrons about the Apex games and the wealth and glory that came with victory. As good as both of those sounded, he knew he couldn't risk leaving his mother childless, until she gave him a set of customized holo devices and told him to follow his dream. Mirage is now the life of the Apex games, outwitting opponents and charming audiences across the Outlands. So Mirage took his mother's technology and used it to become a loved contender in the Apex games. Despite being known as the technological trickster, Mirage is pretty much the most technologically inept person in the Outlands. It seems he understands holo technology perfectly, but everything else about technology Mirage is clueless about. There have been countless references of his inability to understand technology, which makes his friendship / rivalry / bromance with crypto that much funnier. For example, in Mirage's dating profile, it was clear how he had no idea how to even use the Marvin robot to set up his profile properly. The dating profile ends with dating service Marvin. How do I go back and change something? Could you imagine if that pumpkin story got out? So, if I want to enter changes, I just hit this green enter button like... Yeah, not the smartest. And in the latest audio log that is hidden under the Mirage Voyage Town takeover, Mirage ends his voice message to his mother by saying, "What is rec?" Rec being recording, of course.
Love you, Mom. Bye. What is REC? Oh no, how long has this been recording?
Mirage also has a clear dislike for Pathfinder, but it seems like a bit of a fear in a way.
I just hope I don't have to fight with that smiling robot. I'm just kidding, he's fine. Everyone's fine.
Which makes me think that Mirage simply has a fear of technology. Mirage comes across as a player, somebody who's cool, and he tries to play himself off as the hottest thing to hit the Outlands, but at heart, Mirage is just a jokester that uses humor as a crutch to get by and is desperately looking for friends and family he can call his home.
Long winter? More like long winter? Alright, I need some friends. You know, I don't take myself too seriously. I don't take myself anywhere, really. I need to get out more.
The true, deeper look at Mirage's feelings is actually quite tragic. Mirage lost his brothers when he was young, which already cut hard, and he also lost his dad too.
Y'all ready for the Mirage train? Man, I don't get it. Octane says it, it's all cool, but no, I say it, I sound like somebody's dad. I miss my dad.
This means leaving him with just his mother. Later, Mirage made friends, but he lost those too, as revealed in his dating profile. And don't worry about my friends, because most of them have gone south, like 6 feet under south. Whatever, life happens. Wow, that got dark. And now it seems Mirage's only family left is his mother, Evelyn Witt. The trouble is, she's getting older, and she's starting to lose her memory, as you can hear in the following hidden audio log from the town takeover event.
Hey, well, isn't it the most beautiful woman in the world? I mean, I gotta get my good looks from somewhere. How you doing, Mom? Me, I'm perfect, as usual. Hey, get this. They asked me to take over the games for a bit during the holidays. It makes sense, you know, I mean, give the fine people of the Outlands what they want, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Mom. Yeah, I'm your son. Elliot. Yeah, of course, don't worry. I'll win for you today, always for my #1 fan. Yeah, you go enjoy your pork chops. I know they're your favorite. I'm gonna go win the chance. I'm gonna go be the best. All right. Love you, Mom. Bye. What is REC? Oh no, how long has this been recording?
Ultimately, all Mirage has ever wanted to do was have friends, family, but he's lost it all. And to get by, he cracks jokes, keeps a smile, and acts out like the Apex Games class clown. On the bright side, his tomfoolery works, because the majority of the Apex Games contestants have a soft spot for Mirage. Bangalore, despite being very strict with what she reveals, even admitted that Mirage got a chuckle out of her and helps with her morale. Bloodhound admitted that Mirage is a great fighter despite his jokes during the games, and Pathfinder absolutely loves Mirage. In fact, Pathfinder considers Mirage his best friend, despite Mirage trying his hardest to keep a distance from him. Even still, even if Mirage sort of hates Pathfinder for his overjoyousness, Mirage has never been mean to Pathfinder. He's also tried to be kind, and in one of Pathfinder's lore pieces, it was revealed Mirage was the only one to stand up and tell Pathfinder that he was being taken advantage of when Pathfinder was willing to do anything to get a clue about his creator. So Mirage is a legend who is outrageously funny, a little dense at times, but he means nothing but good to those around him. He acts like he bigs himself up as the best, most handsome man in the Outlands and the best competitor out there, but in a way it's almost like a show. He's sort of being sarcastic about himself, and it's ultimately quite sad. If you want to learn more about Mirage, you can see my other lore video on him. The video is called Mirage's Deeper Personality Teaches Us a Great Life Lesson. Next, I want to go through all of the pieces of lore that Mirage has in the game that you may be interested to learn about. I'll read all of them out here for you. Why did I become a legend? One reason. Women. I kid. Real reason? Beautiful women. Sorry, they say I use humor as a defense mechanism, but hello, self-deprecation is my defense mechanism. Humor's my crutch, or maybe my fallback. I don't know, one of those. I guess at the end of the day, the games give people a reason to cheer. Aren't a whole lot of those left in the Outlands these days. Cool to be a part of that. All I have to do is die young. So yeah, anywho, I'm just pulling your leg. It's totally for the babes. This next piece is Bangalore's lore piece that kind of suggests that she appreciates Mirage's humor a little bit too. Numbnuts, that's what Mama used to call guys like you. You know the type. Big jokes, big trucks, big wallets. They need all that big to cover up what's small. I got 4 brothers, real gentlemen, raised with respect. They don't have to woohoo their way through a battlefield like it's a joke and they're the punchline. Sorry, laugh track. The only punchline is you're going home in a box. Maybe Silver isn't so bad, that's Octane. He'd take a bullet for anyone, mostly because he's already 50 paces ahead, charging in with no game plan and even less strategy. Wit's had my back more than once. And whatever, he's gotten a chuckle out of me occasionally. Maybe they're good for morale. I mean, I just need them to stay out of my way. This next piece is pretty funny. It was probably the worst day of my entire life when I found out they were missing. I feared they'd be gone forever. I called my mum and we cried for hours. We grew up together, took care of each other. It was the first time I truly understood what love was. When I was a little kid, I remember we snuck into one of the last Thunderdome games before they shut down, and out of nowhere came it began to rain a lot. My first reaction was to protect those little guys. Sure, it's just rain, but I didn't want them to get soaked. I thought I could protect them forever, but I failed. It's my fault. I let those pieces of hair get seared by that explosion, and now my little babies may never return. I could go bald. I gotta go, sorry. Yeah, Mirage is talking about his hair here. This next one's from Bloodhound. He appears to be a competent ally in this photo. That is a pleasant surprise. He has fought at my side before, and I have never met such a Miklimna, or however you pronounce that. But perhaps I am being unkind. He has survived his share of Slatra. His tricks of the eye are a blessing to the hunt. In the heat of battle, he vinner. Hap this is an image of the true warrior hidden within him. Up next, we have Mirage's family recipe for pork chops, so get a good read of that if you want to. There's also an Easter egg here. Grizz Wit is actually a reference to the same Grizz in Jedi Fallen Order, so a little nod to Respawn's other game. Here's the dating profile of Mirage, which was kind of added as a lore piece. If you want to read it, I'll put a link in the description. But essentially, it's just Mirage being an absolute fool as usual. Here we have a few quotes that were added during the lead up to the Mirage Town takeover. These were sort of teasers added on Twitter. There are a few things here. On this first image, it's revealed that Mirage's mother is called Evelyn Witt. And also, Caustic makes another poke at Mirage for loving pumpkins, which is a little strange. I don't know what's going on there. And then we have this one too. A few little jokes here and there, but the interesting one is he's unbelievable. and then it cuts off and adds an E. But that's from the Apex Games Commissioner Cuban Blisk, which is very interesting for anyone that knew Titanfall. So it's confirmed that Cuban Blisk is the commissioner for the Apex Games. Before it was just rumored. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video on Mirage's lore. This pretty much covers every piece of lore and backstory that Respawn has added into the game. Everything else kind of comes through in his character, and you have to really just play the game and listen to what he says, and you get a feel for who he is. Alright, I'll be making plenty more lore videos soon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!